Tales of Amestralia, the War of the Madosian Peninsula. The Sizhkin tribe. The tribe that is believed to be the second oldest tribe is the Sizhkin tribe. This tribe is the most visceral tribe in the Madosian savannah, as they are cannibals and have a terrible torture ritual before killing a person and then eating them. For this reason is the most hated tribe in the savannah, and the one that comes into least contact with other peoples. This is greatly reflected in their particular language, the so-called Sizhkin. This particular language is clearly part of the Vastnian linguistic family, like those found in Pivitska and Glatza, which are reasonably close to the Madosian savannah. However, the accent and dialect of these cities are very soft, and more similar to the languages of Albanian origin, spoken in the Madosian lands and around the Gulf of Nobla, thus showing the influence and evolution of the languages throughout the migration to the east. But the language of the Sizhkin differs greatly from the language spoken in Pivitska and Glatza, and even in the city of Gianni, which is considered a very unique city in several aspects, including linguistic ones. The Sizhkin language is very similar to a language I only heard when I traveled to the Shadowlands. Contrary to what many think, the Shadowlands are not uninhabited. It is a fact that the number of people beyond the mountains of Volva is much lower than the number of people on the eastern side, but there are people and cities there. Many know about the city of Orstis, which is beyond the city of Gianni, which is considered the last city in the east and south. Orstis is a city that displays all the Vastnian features that one could expect. They are dark-skinned, strong and corpulent people who tend to cut their hair very low and live in wooden houses. The accent of the people of Orstis is much more snarky than the one used in Pivitska and even that of Gianni. About 230 miles northwest of Orstis, there is a village called Sia. The people of Sia are a people known for their cannibalism, and no society expands into the region for fear of the brutality of these people. However, there is contact between people from Orstis with the people of Sia, and I remember a story about a war that took place within the village. A story dated approximately 3e. 2510, where two descendants of a legendary warrior called Ogon, whose legend says that he was born as the result of the relationship of a deity with the face of a dragon, and a woman from the tribe decided to fight each other to decide who would become the next leader. This dispute would have divided the tribe into two sides. Eventually the older brother lost, and as his punishment he had to leave the tribe and march to the east, where he would enter the land of perdition, where he would end up shamefully giving in to the livelihood of the Easterners. The eldest brother, named Ogsis, marched with more of 100 followers to the east, with few people following him. Ogsis became a beggar leader who for 2 years took shelter in Gianni. But after one of the members tried to eat a Giannian citizen, the king of the city expelled Ogsis and his followers, and then they marched east to find a new home. For the people of Orstis, the story of Ogsis ends in this part. But in my studies I discovered that at the same time some cities and wandering tribes in the region east of Gianni had problems with people coming from the west who had cannibalistic customs, and for this reason they were persecuted and sometimes almost eliminated. Everything indicates that eventually these people ended up living in the Madosian savannah, where they managed to hide from the people of the cities, who wanted them dead, and then they could hunt and practice their cannibalism in peace, since many armies would not dare to enter the region just to catch them, and on the way end up becoming food for these people. Another factor is that the older brother's name was Ogsis, and the tribe's name is Sizhkin, with kin being that Sia tribe's word for tribe or group. It confirms that the Sizhkin tribe is descended from this group of people from the village of Si, who ironically call themselves Sizhkin. With this in mind, I believe it is valid to say that the Sizhkin tribe has inhabited the Madosian savannah for at least 900 years. A final factor that helps confirm this theory is the fact that Ogsis and Ogla, the two brothers sons of Ogon, possess the power to manipulate fire, and as many have heard, some members of the Sizhkin are capable of using fire magic, and even passing on their powers to animals. Regarding the appearance of the Sizhkin, as already mentioned, they have black skin and tend to be bald or have little hair. Their clothes are very similar to those of the Zargwil, but the big difference is that the Sizhkin usually wear ornaments made from their human victims, such as strings made from teeth or nails, and other types of ornaments made with bones, making them very easy to recognize.